Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Vlox. We are back with another Season 2 M+ commentary video. This is going to be a 14 Priory as Destruction Warlock. Now, the main reason I am playing Destruction over Affliction is not for like any throughput reason specifically. I think Affliction does more than well enough damage for this key. The reason I am playing Destro instead is just because I wanted to be able to curse things with Curse of the Satyr. If you guys have ever played Affliction, you'll know that Vile Taint just overrides any curse you have on the target, because Vile Taint just auto applies Curse of Exhaustion. There is a lot of stuff in this dungeon to kick, a lot of very dangerous stuff that can like overlap with other abilities and mechanics. So I just placed very high value in being able to apply Curse of Tongues to those things, since Destro still does good damage as well. So yeah, we're going to jump right into the commentary now. If you guys find this video helpful, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. All that stuff really helps me out, and I really appreciate it, so thank you. These are my talents that I'm running. I am running just CDF Shadowburn. I have taken a point out of Fiendish for PO. I'm doing this because there is a good amount of AoE in here, so PO gets some very nice value. But there are also like some smaller pulls where Shadowburn is pretty valuable. So we're not going all into Shadowburn. It's kind of like a mix of more AoE, and Shadowburn still does really good damage. So here we're going to do the Footman pull over to the right here. We're going to gather on a point like over here onto the mini boss. I'm going to manually apply withers to the stuff that's like outside, just so I can make sure it's dotted. Once everything's grouped, I just kata and then send Infernal Malevolence, Potion Trinket, all that stuff, and we start rate of firing. You guys can see I'm not pressing Shadowburn too much. I am kind of using a charge every now and then on this knight, just for some extra prio damage, because we do want to kill this knight ASAP. And then other than that, I'm pretty much just spamming Rain of Fire. As stuff starts dying, you can Shadowburn a little bit more. Since I'm not playing Fiendish, there is like really no pressure to keep spamming this button, because it will just recharge on its own. So yeah, now you guys are going to see that I'm going to be cursing stuff a lot throughout the dungeon. On this pack specifically, the only caster is really this priest. I'm just waiting for all of the stuff that the tank pulled up there to group so I can kata, meaning I have like a bunch of free globals to use on other stuff while I'm waiting for stuff to gather, and I'm using those free globals on Curse of the Satyr. Again, the only caster in this pack is really the priest. That's really all you need to use curse on, or all you should be cursing. So I used kata. You guys are going to see more stuff comes from over here. I already used kata, but I still want to dot these things, so I'm going to spend a couple globals to dot them. It's very important to have everything dotted at all times when you're playing Hellcall or Destro, because a very large portion of your damage comes from Wither and Blackened Soul. If you don't know what Blackened Soul it is a passive damaging ability in the Hellcaller tree. It's not something you really have to rotationally play around. Pretty much you just need to make sure everything's dotted and then do the rest of your rotation properly, and your Blackened Soul damage will kind of take care of itself. So yeah, that was another pretty big pull. You guys can see I'm using Rain of Fire a lot. I'll try to point out like a pack where you would maybe want to Shadowburn more. Since I'm not playing Fiendish again, like there's no pressure to keep spamming this button because it's physically impossible. Like once you use 2 charges, you have to wait a while for it to recharge. So like on this pack here, I would probably maybe keep a charge of it rolling on like the Knight, like I'm doing right here. And then outside of that, just literally spam Rain of Fire. You guys saw I cursed the Priest. That is the only caster on this pull. We have Shout coming out there, so I want to use a defensive. Again, mostly just spamming Rain on this pull. It's a pretty large pull. It's like 6, 7 targets. And then kind of just keep a Shadowburn charge rolling on a prio target as I can. Once you're out of shards, all you pretty much do is just spam Incinerate until you can Rain of Fire again. So again here, you guys see before I'm doing any type of damaging at all, I am cursing everything. There are 4 casters in this pool. 2 conjurers, 3 conjurers, 1 priest. I kind of messed up a little bit here with the curse application at the start. I think I like overlapped on the wrong nameplate. Yeah, that is a very common theme throughout this key. I'm going to be cursing a lot of stuff. If you get this purification on you, make sure you're pressing big defensives, Healthstone, something. Now here you're going to see some unfortunate stuff happen to me. So we are running up and I'm just withering stuff as we're running in. There are really no casters in this pool other than like High Priest, Amia. So I'll go back really quick and just show you guys what happened, why I died here. So this sharpshooter does not run in immediately. So I'm generating some aggro on it with Wither. I think specifically on this pull, if you're doing this, you probably don't want to Wither this right away. Because you guys will see here. So like it's way back here right now and I have aggro on it. So it's doing like its basic shoot attack to me, which is supposed to go to the tank. So that's why I'm getting chunked for like all my health. And then you guys are going to see I health pot. So that actually generates aggro on these guys over here. The tank doesn't have aggro on them. So I just get whacked immediately and I'm dead. Really unfortunate. So if you guys are doing like that pull specifically, I would just not, I would not Wither the sharpshooter and then maybe like come back over here somewhere or like over here. So where the neophytes can't really hit you, like they have to go through the tank to hit you.
Only the strongest survive.
That's probably what I would have done if I could do that pullover again. But yeah, we're just going to run back now. I'll just skip through all the running back. So we get back to the pool here. Still alive. We're just going to send CDs and stuff. I'm going to send Infernal when it comes up, just so I can help us start catching up. We're still pretty okay on timer, pretty okay-ish. Here I'm just using Shadowburn on stuff that's getting close to dying. And then now we are single targeting High Priest Amia. So here I'm going to be cursing again. We have 2 casters. And we got the mini boss, which also casts, so I'm going to curse him. Just going to kata when stuff gets grouped up. Press Malevolence when it's up. You can rain on 4 targets. That is enough targets to rain. If Havoc procs, you're going to want to prio Shadowburn during Havoc over Rain of Fire at this target count. And also we got some low health stuff here, so you could try to like snipe it with Shadowburn. Start getting some charge refunds like that. See here, I got a Havoc proc. Always try to make sure to prio Shadowburn during Havoc, like at low target counts. Like I'd say maybe like up to 4 or 5 targets. Cool, so we're on to boss here. I'm gonna curse the bosses. I'm gonna send Infernal, trinket everything. These bosses do share health pool, so you are getting main boss damage by cleaving onto Elena. As Destro, this fight is pretty much just pure passive. Like you're pretty much just going to be single targeting Dalecry the whole time. And then you'll get like little passive mayhem procs from here that'll just give you some extra cleave. Just make sure you dodge the line. I think most groups are fighting this boss with Elena here. Elena doesn't really do much, but a pulsing AoE. So when that goes off, you want to just press a defensive or something. This is the pulsing AoE, Holy Radiance. Make sure we kick the boss. Keeping a charge of Shadowburn rolling. On a boss or like single target, you always want to keep 1 charge of this rolling no matter what. I use an extra charge there because I have Shadowburn up. Havoc. Use CDF on cooldown. And then just build and spend with Incinerate Chaos Bolt. That is the basic rotation. Also just use Conflag when you can. Your main goal with Conflag on like a boss is to upkeep this debuff here. Which I think is Roaring Blaze. That's why you don't want to like just send a Conflag back to back. You want to kind of space them out until this debuff wears off, and then do Conflag again. Now you see I'm holding CDs here. That is because I'm expecting us to do a very large full after this. Infernal Malevolence and Trinket came up for a second use, or I guess the 30s for Malevolence, and I only use Malevolence because I want to make sure I have everything. We are going to do a pretty insane pull here. Now there is stuff to curse on this pull. I'm going to try to get it all if I can. I think it's mostly just the priests. But once everything is grouped up, I will send all my CDs. And then we're going to start some nice rain spamming. I'm not really pressing Shadowburn at all. That is completely fine on a pull this big. And we are pretty much just trying to stay alive right now. So you want to press defensives when these sacred tolls are going off. That's what's doing this big AoE here. And you can see we have 5 paladins up, so there's like 5 of them coming out back to back. Yeah, we actually killed that fairly fast. That was a pretty insane pull. And you guys are going to see at the end with the timer, like we pretty much just needed to do that pull, or we probably would not have timed. So again, on this pull we have 3 casters, and I have them all cursed. It's the Conjurers and the Priest. This is a 5 target pull right now, so I am like prioing Shadowburn during Havoc, and then otherwise I am just Rain of Firing. Here again we have 2 casters, I am cursing them. Just shadow burning the stuff that's getting low, so I get my shard refunds back. Sending CDs as they're up, using CDF as it's up, making sure everything's dotted. Same thing here, pretty much. It's a 4 target pull. So I'm only really pressing Shadowburn when like Havoc's up, or stuff is getting close to dying like that, just to get a charge and a shard back. Again, since I'm not playing Fiendish, there's like no real big pressure to keep spamming this. For a single target, again, the main ideas with the rotation is just to keep a charge of Shadowburn rolling at all times. Keep the target dotted at all times. And then you're going to want to maintain really high uptime on the Roaring Blaze debuff and the Eradication debuff. So you do that by spacing out your conflags as much as you can to maintain uptime on that debuff. And then Eradication, you don't necessarily play too much around. It more or less kind of takes care of itself. But it does kind of help at times to like space out your shard spenders. Like you saw there, I sent a Chaos Bolt, and then I started casting Incinerate and a Conflag, instead of like just sending 2 Chaos Bolts back to back. There is no real pressure to if you're at 5 shards, there's no real pressure to just full dump down to 0 or like 1. Unless like you think you're gonna shard cap, that would be the only time there's like pressure to keep dumping as fast as possible. But other than that, you can kind of like space out your spenders. Like right there, I could have casted a Chaos Bolt, but I'm just casting some Incinerates. That's kind of how you like get more uptime on Eradication, I guess. To be quite honest though, I'm like rarely ever like seriously tracking Eradication's uptime on bosses. I think you used to like have to play around it a little bit more, but I think now you just have like way better shard gen that it almost kind of just plays itself for the most part. I am tracking Roaring Blaze pretty heavily most of the time though. Like I am watching this timer pretty close. Since you can like fully control how much uptime you have on that by like delaying your con flags as much as possible. Again, here we have a couple casters. We have two priests that I am slapping some curses on before I send damage and stuff. This is a pretty big-ish pool, so you can kind of just rain here if you want. I think I'm sending some Shadow Burns on the Paladin for a little bit of prio damage, since these Paladins are prio targets. They are almost definitely what's going to kill the group with these tolls, like if people run out of defensives and stuff. So this is a pretty nasty area of the dungeon. This is where you are going to, for sure, want to make sure you're cursing things. There are a lot of casters in these packs. With light spawns, with paladins, like you see right there, I almost died just because we have like so many mechanics overlapping. You got like the toll overlapping with the kick, overlapping with the purification. It's really easy for somebody to just get like one tapped here because of overlapping stuff. So you just want to make sure you're helping your group stop with like Coil, Fear, Shadow Fury. You're helping to kick stuff. If you ever get a purification from this light spawn, that is when you need to press big defensives. Especially on this pack here, because of the Sacred Toll. So the purification does overlap with the Sacred Toll. If you don't have anything pressed, you're probably going to die. See right here we have purification going out and he's going to toll. There's a little overlap right there. We have a couple more casters in here. We have a mage and a priest. So I have them cursed. Didn't get full infernal uptime there, but it's okay. Again, we got more casters here. I'm cursing them. We're going to kata. When everything's grouped, CDF. can just send rains for the most part here. I sent a couple shadow burns on the mage just for the prio damage. I would definitely say, like on this pool, you want to try to kill a mage, like at least one mage as soon as possible. And then once you're out of Shadowburn charges, or like you have one charge rolling or whatever, you can just go back to raining. You don't really, you guys don't really need to overcomplicate like Shadowburning in these AoE situations. Just think of it as like a nice little button that does some extra prio damage. So like if you have a target you want to prio down, just send a charge of it and call it a day. Or you got like something dying like that, you just Shadowburn it to try to get the snipe value, and then go back to raining. So here we're going to have an unfortunate little heal. But we should be okay. I think we're just going to chain into next pack. We're trying to kill this mage, like I'm chaos bolting and stuff. I think we're going to chain as soon as that mage is dead. Again here we have two priests. I am cursing them. We send Lust on this pack. I send all my CDs. I am sniping stuff with Shadowburn there as it's dying. Again, we're sniping this priest that's low. This pull we got two priests. I am cursing them, and then we're just going to kata everything once it's groups and CDF. Get some rains out. Might throw like a shadow burn on a priest at one point if I want to do some prio damage, like right there. There you go. Just go back to raining. Go. Our priests are dead, so we're pretty chill now. Again, I'm just raining a lot. Sending some shadow burns if like stuff's dying. On a boss, it's like nice to keep a charge of Shadowburn for movement. So you guys saw right there, like I had the mechanic, I can't really cast that much, but I have a Shadowburn available, so I could just use that as like a global just to be able to do something while I'm moving instead of just moving and doing nothing. Some other nice stuff you can do like while you're moving as Destro is like you pretty much have Shadowburn, Conflag, and if you don't have like a Shadowburn or a Conflag, some other stuff you could do while you're moving is just recharge Wither just for the sake of it, or like recharge your Curse. It's not really like a high value damaging ability, but it saves you like a global or two like down the road once you're able to like plant again and start casting. Another cool thing you can do here, I guess. So while she's casting blind, you have to turn around. What you can do, since you're generally not going to be able to cast anything while you're turned around, what you can do is like send a soul burn drain life, and then while that's channeling, you can just turn around, and drain life will continue to keep channeling. So essentially, you're just healing yourself while you're turned around and not able to actually do damage. Just makes that little gap of time a little more valuable for you instead of just standing there doing nothing. Also, because I know somebody is going to comment this in the comment section. Yes, I know you can gate from right here down to the platform below. I have tried it, and I think it is like a dwarf thing where I cannot, like you can't be down there and put the gate up here. You have to come up here to put the gate down there as a dwarf. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but I have tried many times as a dwarf to get the gate up here, and it just does not work. I could probably pop a toy and try it with like a bigger character model, but I always just forget. It definitely saves like a couple seconds, but it's not the end of the world. It literally just saves you maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 seconds. So at this point, we are super chilling. We just literally have to not die. So I am just continuing to do damage, and then biggest thing I am focusing on right now is not dying. The only thing that's ever going to kill you right now is standing in a circle or getting overlapped when the blind goes out, because she is pulsing AoE right now, like right here. So the blind's going to go out, like there's going to be a little pulse of AoE while she's already pulsing AoE, and that can kind of like overlap you. So that's the key, guys. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you guys found some stuff in here helpful, some stuff that is useful. If you did, definitely leave a like or a comment and let me know. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I will be doing more of these for different dungeons. And I would really appreciate all that stuff, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy till then.